This podcast contains an English accent that most of our Irish listeners will find offensive. Also, there may be some colourful language that you're going to find less offensive. Now, over to Ryan and Leon. Enjoy the podcast.
You have a love of poetry. You even close your book with some of your favorite poems. For me, the poems that I return to all the time are Prufrock,
yes,
the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock,
That's
which
my
I know you have an excerpt from in here. Would I be able to ask you to read just a little bit of Prufrock for us?
Sure. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient heath rised upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels.
Would you mind reading the end there?
I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I've heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I've seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea, by seagulls wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown.
A bit of T.S. Elliot read out by Anthony Hopkins, Sir
Anthony
Hopkins.
The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Prufrock. Yeah. It's lovely, isn't it? It's real nice. On the Colbert Late Show.
Colbert. Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert.
Colbert. Yeah.
Beautiful how they can, like, Colbert loves poetry as well. I think I've seen him a few times on his chat show kind of stop the conversation and do a poem or like recite a poem. So like he loves it, and the way they connected as well was lovely. I think. Well,
it's a very really, intimate really kind nice. Of like you can hear him getting emotional. Sir Anthony Hopkins getting emotional at the end.
Yeah, well, and
it's his favourite, but he's reciting half of it from memory. Obviously, he takes a little bit of the script kind of towards the end, but like obviously it resonates with the both of them. And it's a very intimate moment between two boys, which is nice.
The rolled up trousers.
Yeah. My trousers are rolled up now, look.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I'm not even old so far, apparently. Could be.
Well, you look a bit younger than the last time I saw you.
Well, I've shaved my chin off.
You got rid of your beard.
I tell you what, when November sent us the welcome packs, I was fucked. I was too deep in. I had both legs in there at that stage, so I thought, you know what? That kind of got the idea going.
Yeah.
And then I messaged Leanne and I said, well, I'm going to have to get permission first.
Yeah,
so I asked
clearance for a decision like that.
It's a fucking, you do. So I said to a texter and I was like, look, what's the crack? I'm thinking of shaving the beard off. And she went, only if I'm allowed to do it. This will be gas. And I was like, right.
Okay, there you go.
And then she fucking shaved it. She beheaded me and spent 3 days mocking me then afterwards.
Well, well.
I'd wake up in the morning and she'd just look over and go, ha, you look shy. It's been over 3 days. 3 days.
That's very harsh, isn't it?
My ego already took a battering from having to look in the mirror. I'm getting small frights every time. For about a week. Small frights having to look in the mirror, like.
Yeah.
And she's there battering me as well. Pushing me back down the stairs, let's just say. So I've got a Ronnie now, which is nice. The Tom Selleck moustache is coming in.
I only saw Intermission this weekend just gone, you know.
Have I got a Ronnie? That's what I was like for the whole week. That's what it felt like. Hello, Tom Selleck. Fuck off. That's exactly what. Thank you for my dramatic reproduction of.
Everyone in that film made it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, it's a real like coming of age film, where like every person in it are part of popular culture today.
Yeah.
Like pretty much.
Yeah. You've got Colin Farrell in it. You've got Cillian Murphy in it. Colin Meaney's in it as well.
Deirdre O'Kane.
Yeah.
Fucking loads of people.
Too much to count.
And it's funny, but it's pretty grim as well. Like, dark.
The opening scene, Colin Farrell punches her. He's like, I could be
punches
robbing.
The lash, yeah.
He's like, you think I'm flirting with you? I could be robbing this shop. And just punches her in the face. You're like, what? It's mental. Then he tries to rob a car with a shovel. It's fucking mental film.
Great film.
It's on the RTE player, is it?
I watched it on the Dodgy.
Would you watch it, Neil Dodd?
Say no.
To be honest, you can't find it fucking anywhere. Like, it's not even on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't. Before I got the Dodgy, I was like, I want to go. You want to go back to see like all the Irish films, and that was one of the ones that I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen My Left Foot either. That's another one that's on the list. But I'm kind of working down all of them now. I haven't seen. I've not seen The Quiet Man. Is it The Quiet Man?
The Quiet Man is a play.
Film as well.
Film as well.
Yeah. The Quiet Man, and then the new one that was nominated for an Oscar a couple of years ago about the girl
who was quiet. Colleen Keown.
Is that what it is?
Colleen Keown is on Colleen Keown, I think it is. The Quiet Girl.
On Colleen Keown.
Yeah, it means the quiet girl in Irish. Yeah. There you are now.
Working down the list.
Look at
of
us,
cultural
bilingual poets we are here now, translating in real time.
But what I liked about that clip you sent me, Ed, was like it's that moment where, and it's happened to us a couple of times where you're in a room with someone and then they go from that normal talk to like, okay, they're doing a fucking poem, and then they start to, you're like, oh, okay, fucking hell. Like,
I think
it's a real talent. Look, it's a real, like, you can't help but just stare when someone does that.
I think as well, like, if you perform a poem for someone at a show, people come up to you. And it's happened to me where I've watched people perform on stage and you go up as if you kind of know them a bit. Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
And people are like, come up to you might never have met before, and they're like, how's it going? And they're chatting away to you. Like, some obviously would be a little bit kind of the more shy, I will say. Mm-hmm. But like, a lot of people have come up and they're talking to you as if they're one of your mates. And they're only meeting them for the first time because you've shown so much of yourself on stage or whatever. So yeah, like, poetry can be an intimate thing.
Very intimate.
Way to reveal yourself without getting arrested.
Here's a question for you, right? So, a bit of trivia. What connects the 8th century Hindu philosopher Adi Shankara and the WBO middleweight championship of the world?
Has he got a fucking tattoo of his on him?
It is a man. It is a bloke.
Who is the middleweight champion?
Ooh, former.
Is it Manny Pacquiao? No. I don't know. What
Chris Eubank.
Right.
Chris Eubank Senior, right? And this is mad what happened today on TalkSport, right? So there's a fight happening. It had just been gone, actually. I think it'll be yesterday, if this goes out on Monday, between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Mm-hmm. It's round 2. Do you know these people? There's like British middleweight fight. And Chris Eubank Senior. Did you see him on Tommy Tiernan in the last season? He's a bit of a... He talks a lot of woof, basically. Like he comes on, he's like, I am this, but I am that. He's very, like, it's hard to get him down to, like, talk normally. But he comes on TalkSport, which is very laddie. It's a very chavvy show, and you've got, like, Jim White and Simon Jordan, like, right, so here we go. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Yeah. And Chris Eubank comes on, right? And Senior. I'm just going to play Chris Eubank Senior. And you know, like, he dresses smart, and he's like, he's going through this, like, spiritual thing going on as well. And he just stops the interview right at the start of it and recites a poem.
Amazing.
So this is Chris Eubank Senior talking to Simon Jordan and Jim White, apparently promoting his son's upcoming fight with Conor Benn, reciting the poetry of Adi Shankara.
Unreal.
Chris Eubank Jr. goes in against Conor again on Saturday night. I'm going to ask the same of you as I asked Nigel earlier on in the show this morning, Chris.
Before you go on, may I express something that is really true to me? May I?
Please do.
Yes, I'm Christopher Livingston Eubank. Thank you for inviting me on. Truly, I want to say to you that I am neither ego nor reason. I'm neither mind nor thought. I cannot be heard or cast into thought, nor by sight or smell ever caught. In light and wind I am not found, nor yet in earth and sky. Consciousness and joy incarnate, bliss of the blissful am I. I have no name, I have no life, I breathe no vital air. No elements have moulded me, no bodily sheath is my lair. I have no speech, no hands, no feet, no means of evolution. Consciousness and joy am I, and bliss in disillusion. I cast aside hatred and passion, I conquered delusion and greed. No touch of pride caressed me, so envy never did breed. Beyond all faiths, past reach of wealth, past freedom, past desire, consciousness and joy am I, and bliss is my attire. Virtue and vice, nor pleasure and pain are not my heritage, nor sacred texts, nor offerings, nor prayers, nor pilgrimage. I am neither food, nor eating, nor yet the eater am I. Consciousness and joy incarnate, bliss of the blissful am I. I have no misgivings of death, no chasms of race divides me. No parent ever called me child, no bond of birth did tie me. I am neither disciple nor master, I have no kin, no friend. Consciousness and joy am I, and merging with bliss is my end. Neither noble, knowledge nor knower am I, formless is my form. I dwell within the senses, but there is not my home.
How have you been, Simon?
Ever serenely balanced, neither free nor bound. Neither free nor bound, consciousness and joy am I, and bliss is where I'm found. Now, it's a show.
That's by the way, all you teleprompt readers, you should be ashamed of yourself.
That was wonderful.
You just be able
wasn't
to
it?
recount all that. Look, I don't know what the
Just
purpose.
rolled
I don't know
off
what the
like
purpose of it was, but we are there now.
The purpose of it is always that we are entertaining the public. A little poetry is good, especially when it speaks exactly about the individual reciting it.
Okie doke.
Right, my turn now. Chris.
That was Chris Eubank Sr. reciting Song of the Soul by Adi Shankara.
Are you just not blown away with what we've just listened to?
There'd be nothing more terrifying than a man beating the shit out of you reciting poems softly to you.
And he could.
And he could.
He's the toughest, one of the toughest still, probably.
And he'd fucking
kill you.
It's like he's
And
just
he'll
so
do your
soft.
poem.
And he just kept fucking putting his finger up and like, I'm not finished.
I'm not done.
I'm not done yet.
No, you come at me.
I will throw hands if you do fucking disturb my poem.
Yeah.
And that's a difficult poem to recite as well. He's doing it off his from memory. Like.
I've never heard it before. I actually wasn't aware of the work of Adi Shankara either.
And he's like, it's all about entertaining people, and poetry entertains people.
Yeah.
That's
I am
fun.
on Talk Sport. It is a place that I want to entertain.
Educating the uneducated. Fucking.
Well, that's what he was doing.
Imagine how
A
many
bit of
lads.
fucking culture.
How many lads in Benidorm fucking dropped their bleeding €1.50 beers? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Unreal.
Poetry to the masses.
Poetry to the fucking masses.
Thank you very much for that, Chris Eubank Senior.
Senior, yeah. I feel more enlightened already.
Yeah, same, man. Fucking great. And like he's a bit of a caricature now, Chris Eubank Senior, with his like the way he dresses, and there's documentaries about him. But like, obviously, deep down, he's just a very fucking intelligent, insightful, soulful fella. You know what I mean? Who just trying to better himself, maybe. You know what I mean? Like with words.
With words, but he's a very articulated person. Very well dressed, very sharp. It's like this man gets money to beat other men up. It's fucking. That's amazing, and he's so intellectual. But I suppose, like, to be a successful boxer, you have to be a student to study the craft of boxing, and like mindset and strength, will. Because you're literally going in, like you see them going in like to make the walk, like down that, and it's like all that pressure. Imagine being like walking in to physically fight someone who is also a trained assassin.
Yeah,
like that takes a lot of balls,
doesn't it? Just
fucking ridiculous. I don't know how people do that.
But Ali was a poet as well. Remember, ages ago we were talking about Muhammad Ali's poetry. Not
float
just
like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Not just that. I remember that he was a fucking in a different life. He could have,
whether through his fists or through his poems. There you are. Now that's I think he's down for free.
Thanks for that, pal.
No bother.
You called me on Friday night.
Yeah,
and no one calls anybody these days.
Not on a Friday night.
Not on a Friday night. So, and then the first thing he said was, "Can you talk?" I was like, oh, fuck it. And he said, "I've got a mad story for you."
Yeah.
Like, let me leave the room. So and it was a mad story. Like, incredible. Please tell us what happened
to enlighten people on what actually happened. There was I was doing a workshop in the Museum of Literature, and I'd done the workshop, so it was 2 hours there. Molly is the short. It's beside House of Guinness, the big lovely house that they used to live in. It's now the Department of Foreign Affairs. It's 2 doors down from that, just off Stephen's Green. Great place. But I'm doing this first Friday, so it's for October, November, December, I'm doing the first Friday of every month. They do a big culture. It's a great night to go because a lot of the events are free and you just rock up, take part in all those things. So I'd done this workshop with a lot of young people, and one of the co-founders, Jenny, comes to me afterwards and she was like, "Jesus, it's a very small world." And I was like, "Okay,
sure?
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah,
We know that.
Geographically, yeah, maybe." But she was like, "Yeah, my sister works for Goshka," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she said, I was like, because remember, I'd been asked to go into Mountjoy during the summer to teach prisoners poetry, 15 prisoners.
When you said I've been asked to go to Mountjoy, it's a very polite way of saying you've been done.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't done. I was visiting. I wasn't there.
They inquired about my availability to go to the prison. I acquiesced to their request.
I've kindly, accepted their proposal, but they asked me to go in and just teach. They were just like, "Look, there's lads getting their Goshka Award." So the Goshka Awards, for people who aren't familiar with it, is the President's Award, and there's like a series of like things to tick off, like community service, physical activity. All these, people got like backpack. They pack people's bags in Tesco's and they go help old people. And if you meet a certain criteria, you get an award off the president, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. And then there's a bronze, silver, and gold. So the more you do, the better awards you get. And like employers look at it and go, if you're obviously not a shy bag if you have. It's a benchmark for people, if you have.
Yeah, man.
That's an achievement. Yeah. So I'd written the poem, and because basically through conversations with the lads, ended up writing an entire piece from start to end of a day in the life of a prisoner in Mountjoy, and it's using the language of the landings. So it's literally the language they use, basically, so that the officers don't know what they're talking about. So that's why I was in with Goshka, and I'd done that. And she was like, my sister works for that crowd, and I was like, "Oh, this is brilliant." They're an odd coincidence. And she goes, "My sister has just texted me saying, there's a great poet called Leon Dunn. You should get him in for a workshop." And she was like, "That's mad," because he's literally next door. He's literally next door doing this thing. So I was like, "Oh, that's no way." She's like, "Yeah." But she was there at Orla Snook on last night, because this is last Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, "All right, yeah, cool." Yeah. She's like, "Oh, it was Michael D. Higgins, the president's, last night." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." Yeah, so she was there when they gave him your poem. And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I was like, "They gave what?" So she was like, "Well, she was there when they gave me your poem." And I was like, I don't understand what you mean. And part of my brain was like, she's obviously wrong. She could be talking shite.
Wrong person.
So then I was thinking, like Mikey Cullen wrote a thing for Catherine Connolly, the new president that's now been sworn in, and I thought an RT News shared it, and I was like, maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe she's mistaken me with someone else.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, look. And she starts showing me this fucking LinkedIn post. With pictures. I'm not on LinkedIn. I haven't updated it in a while. I'll say in a while.
You're not on LinkedIn.
And she shows me this fucking LinkedIn post with pictures, and then I see that Michael D. Higgins, and obviously he's not the tallest of people, holding like a framed picture with a poem that's nearly bigger than he is, and it's the poem that I wrote with the lads in Mountjoy.
Incredible.
And I found out by circumstance that her sister happened to ask her to do a workshop with me that I'd already done.
You'd have never known.
Well, I would hope that they might have told
in
me.
Years gone, maybe.
But I think they just forgot in the hustle of running around. They just forgot to tell me.
For fuck's sake.
But like, I'm not even like what? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
The poem's going to be hanging on the president's wall in his house. Like, that's ridiculous, So they
unbelievable.
They were like, "Oh, we're so sorry," and I was like, "I don't really." I was like, "I have to go call me ma."
Yeah, tell her. Apologise next week.
Yeah, like,
I'm busy.
I'm busy telling me ma. I was like, it was ridiculous.
There's beers in the fridge.
There's beers in the fridge. Yeah, so I was like, I'll have to just like, I don't know. So it was just very strange that happened.
Yeah.
And do you want to hear it?
I actually would love to hear it.
Right, so there was basically there was just kind of, I was there to help them do different kinds of writing styles, different kinds of poetry, kind of an introductory to poetry, and there wasn't really like a final outcome of the project, but it was just purely through conversation. I was just curious, and I was like, "What's a day in the life for yous in here?" And they could tell me by the minute what their day was like, because every day is the same. Yeah. And they were like, at exactly this minute, this is what happens. So, and then they were talking about the different words they use, because some of the lads in there, like, they wouldn't have the best literacy skills, obviously, or they left school early or whatever. But what I could see was this really, really creative use of language that they have. And language is obviously like, because this language constantly evolves to stay ahead of the officers, it's always changing. So this is almost like a time capsule of where it is in a moment in time, because in a couple of years, these words will be different. They're not going to use these words anymore.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can't wait to hear this.
Do you know what I mean? So this is just through conversations, and even the title itself, it's literally, I just asked them, and then what happened, and then what happened, and then what happened. And this, even the title was coined by a prisoner. So this is Costa del Joy without the Costa. Here, pal, you listening? Radio beeps and a shout from below, unlock the wing. 8:10 and I'm Marvin, pint of Banya, 4 Weetabix and a bag of cornflakes for breakfast. Then back to the gaff to see what's on the box. Bit of deadliest catch or a cup of coffee and a smoke. It's an absolute joke though, waiting on the one mop to slop out the cell, make the bed, tidy up, brush your teeth. All dressed up to go nowhere. But a pristine routine will get you through it though. Another scream of yard or cell. So out for a few laps. To hear lads yap about the same stories again and again as we turn left again and again, talking palm trees and jet skis, sort outs and gizzalens. Nothing but prison promises. Then a fall in. 12:30, straight in for the grub. Throw it all on bread. Body fat of 90% mash. And a roll up for dessert. A little siesta then, to help drift away. After that a workout and another smoke, the nicotine steads. Followed by a 2:15 p.m. Paddy Power shower, 'cause you're Abe Lincoln stinking, which helps clears the head. 2:30 into the school for the 1s, 2s and C's. You'd be lucky doing the cooking, 'cause you'll get a few lollipops, swaps, from what you make. And it breaks up the day, gets you off the landing. Away from the war stories and kangaroos, screws standing watch. Out looking for the white lightning from the micro breweries where the hooch is on the loose. A 4 p.m. tea time with Judge Judy or the Big Bang. Hopefully it's Big Al's and soggy chips. After that you're grafting for a few skins and a bit of dust or a few roll-ups, keeping the lift for the evening ahead. 7:15 sit down with a flick after a 7 p.m. visit with the medic. Last fall in. Last order for Vera Lynn's skins. Cell doors are locked. Master comes on at 1:30. Then in for the night. A screw checks in before heading home. 10 to 8. Last night check. Then you're all alone. So out comes the dog and bone phone. Last few calls through the windows and the walls, and the same thing tomorrow and the next and the next.
That was Costa del Joy without the Costa by Leon Dunn, inspired by his time at Mountjoy prison at writing workshops with the prisoners. Yeah, brilliant, man. Like the kind of journey that you go on and the kind of different words, the kind of slips of phrases, like, yeah, and then the inevitability at the end. Because nothing happened in that day.
Not really, no.
I mean, nothing happened really at all.
They kind of go into the school. They go out for an hour a yard.
Yeah.
You go to the school that you might get 2 hours. Well, it's an hour and a half really of school where you can do different classes. Then you're back in. But like they're so the master is the master lock. There's 2 locks that are on your cell door. So the master lock is basically there's like a switch that they flip and all the doors are locked completely. But you also have another lock that an officer has to come and personally unlock you out of your cell. So you're locked. So the master comes off at 6:30 in the morning. But you're not locked out of your cell until about 7:30 in the morning. Or sorry, it's not 8:30. So it's 8:15. They kind of start doing the doors. 8:30 when you're unlocked, and then you're locked back in. It's 7:30 at night. So it's not a lot of time. 8:30 in the morning till 7:30, and then you're locked in for however many hours.
Did you feel any confliction when you were there?
Not confliction. It was like, obviously that was the first time I'd ever taught in a prison. So I'd actually been there when I was 16, not again as a visitor. When you're from the north side, they bring 16-year-olds in school on a tour. I don't know why. They brought us on a tour to prison.
What could happen?
They brought us to the Doka Centre, which is the women's prison within Mountjoy, and then they brought us to the men's prison. But I was only in the women's prison I was in for about 40 minutes. And then the men's prison, you're probably in for about 20 minutes. They only kind of give you a quick tour. They show you the L triangle that goes jingle jangle along the bank. It's on as you walk in. And I was obviously a bit like kind of nervous going in because I didn't really know what to expect. And I remember the first day I was kind of we were in the music room, so there's a bit of a television screen you can put stuff on YouTube. But like certain things, I couldn't show them Heartbreak by Emma Kierwan because a lot of videos are blocked. Because whatever depicts them in the videos, they have a screening thing on the prison. They can only show you certain videos on YouTube.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
So I was showing them different poets. So I showed them a video of John Cummins doing Native, a crusty slice of bread and it's born and bread. And there's a lad from the back of the class, and they were still kind of like, they were quiet and they were kind of sussing us out. And then I heard from the back of the class, he looks like you. This is me. Pre-shave, still with the beard. And then the other lad goes, yeah, but he's better looking. And I started laughing. I went, yeah, I'm the Aldi version of John Cummins. And then the whole room started laughing. And then it was like, after that they were like, oh, he can take the piss out of himself, we can be, and then they were grand.
But you're probably as well naturally just probably curious to find out about those, who they are and those stories, over being anyway conflicted like that. I think that's the thing when you're a curious person. Like if that was me in the room, I'd just be wanting to just find out what the fuck happened and like who are you and what. Tell me everything. Do you know what I mean?
I never asked them.
You probably
I never asked.
Was that one of the
not
rules?
even that, but like there was no rules. No rules. Some of them would gladly tell you. Some of the lads would gladly tell you what they did. I never asked because I didn't really want to know, because I wanted to know them as a person, not what they did.
For sure.
Because if I think 100%. I had found out what they did, it would kind of lead to a bias.
Yeah, but you kind of want to find out what's behind the eyes. You know what I mean? Like you won't be like, oh, Nicola Talent style. Like what did you do? Like you don't work for the Sunday World, but like just to find out the humanness behind the charges.
But even like I was teaching the youngest prisoner in Mountjoy who'd just gone 18. There was and then some of the younger lads, like one of them let it slip and was like, I wish I never got in behind the wheel of a car. My life was ruined because of that. I never asked, but they'd say little things like that, and I'm like, oh, that could be, and then you're kind of joining the dots in your head. But I just wanted to get to know them as a person, and I think first of all, they realised that you're not you can take the piss out of yourself because you have to have a good sense of humour in there, and you're not judging them. Because why would you go in to judge? Enough people judge them already because they're in prison. So I was just curious and just kind of getting to know them. And like, because of the area that I come from, and I'm sure you'd know a lot of them as well from where you come from, it's like, but there's so many people that could have went one way or the other. You could easily
slip into jail and locked into that cycle.
Yeah.
100%.
So there's so many lads that I know from like my life that I saw in a lot of them lads, and younger, like, and they were from different ages. There was like lads who were in their 40s, and a lot of them, most of them, because it was the Goshka Awards, where they were in their early 20s and late teens.
Just to kind of clarify, I think what we're agreeing on is like we're talking about like theft, robbery, crime, like
it's a medium security
fraud.
prison.
Do you know what I mean? Like we obviously we're not talking about like not everybody can commit all crimes. Fuck's sake.
No, Jesus, there's a line.
But I'm with you. People from a certain area can naturally, because like we talked about that the other week about like where theft comes from. It just comes from maybe trying to fight against the man, because that's, if you don't trust the police, then you want to do something the police don't like, so you end up like in a circle of like getting into trouble because that's all you know. Yeah. But also like people rob to sell. People rob to sell to make money because they've got no fucking money. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking money. Like? Yeah. But even people like selling, like it kind of really hit me when I was in there how much drugs affects their lives, and it's not so much, it's everywhere within every aspect of their life, in the sense that their parents could have been on drugs, then they could be on drugs. People that all their friends sell drugs or take drugs. Yeah. They're bored in there, so the drug, it's actually, apparently it's cheaper to buy drugs in prisons than it is outside, because it's just so flooded, because there's so many people bringing it in. There's such a need for it. So like it's just everywhere. And then like you have a lot of lads in there that are in recovery, and like they're trying to make themselves a better person, but just surrounded by drugs. Like there's lads in there that have just come out of like, and it's not like the prison is overcrowded. Most prison there's not enough prisons in the country, and obviously they don't know where to put them. Like what can you do? But like it's just from circumstance. You have lads in there that have come out of detox from a rehabilitation program, and they're in like a wing with people that are smoking heroin at night time. So like imagine like being
go anywhere,
being an alcoholic and just going, yeah, well you can just sleep in the back of the pub.
Fuck's sake.
But don't be drinking. And like it's just it's tough. But and then like there was another kind of thing that happened that you get to really like you see them. I was in there for 6 weeks every Monday going for 2 hours, and you get to know them and you get to chat and like we be having the crack, and then you just feel bad and like there's a weird feeling that comes. You feel bad because you're like, all right, well look, I'll see you later. And they're staying here.
They're staying there.
You get to leave.
Yeah.
And I remember just like the first time coming out, and I really enjoyed like being like having the crack with the lads and leaving. And I remember just staring at the sky the whole way home. And I was like, that's fucking huge. Because the windows are so small. It's a prison, obviously. And there's just little things that you just take for granted. And when you come out of there, you're like, geez, it's great to just, you can just have a room to yourself. You can be quiet, like in a quiet room by yourself, because it's just so loud in there. Because there's so many people like on the landings.
Yeah,
like there's 3 lads in some of the rooms, like
Fuck's sake.
So
it's like a gaff in central Dublin.
It's like a bedsit. Yeah. It's like a gaff in central Dublin. Yeah.
If you're a student, you'd be paying £400 a month.
Unfortunately, but some of the cells, the windows don't open or close. Some of them are either permanently open or permanently closed. So. Which is like certain gaffs in Dublin, I suppose.
Maybe not to trivialise what we're saying, but I think one of the benefits maybe of like taking a bit of a stint, doing a stretch, would be a forced removal of your phone, and maybe a complete cutting off of a different kind of prison, let's say, which is like what we all kind of battle with, which has been.
They do have phones.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. They have fucking phones.
They're not allowed.
Are they? But
there are phones in the prison. I'm not saying all of them have them, but some there are some phones in prison.
Fuck's sake. That was the only benefit. I was like, I don't mind doing a stretch. But I'm thinking about that a lot recently because I just am in general. And I was on LinkedIn the other day. And there was a post on LinkedIn by an old boss of mine who'd been writing a Substack. Love Substack, by the way. Some people's Substacks are fucking really good. It's like the old blog spot. Blog spot back in the day. And I had a WordPress back in the day as well.
You?
Yeah,
I used to use Medium.
Medium as well. Medium Substack, I think they're pretty similar. And she was talking about when she went on holiday with her husband one year. He said, would you mind not checking your phone for the week?
To the husband?
He said to the wife.
He said
that to her wife. Oh. Yeah. And then she was like, okay, grand. And then that was 5 years and she never re-downloaded her social media accounts. Wow. Spent a week off it, realised that didn't need it. The thing she was doing, like initially you're taking the photos and you want to send them, but like she kind of came to realisation that like it's just not necessary for it to be on social media. And she linked a poem at the end of this Substack article about her cutting ties with being online. And the poem is from a writer called Heather Petteroy. And the poem is called On My Relationship with the Internet. It's just so on the money. And we'll talk about phone addiction in a sec, but I want to read you this poem first. So this is On My Relationship with the Internet by Heather Petteroy. I feel as though my brain has been a bin with an open lid. A hungry, hungry hippo for a social hit. An edutainment half wrapped in outrage. When will I understand the misunderstood stranger? Seeking truth among the slivers of sermons scattered about my feed. What have I missed in the dissection of a million lived experiences? How should I sift through the world in its entirety through a palm-sized pan? Swiping for gold. Small flakes wink among the dredge. A few more shakes and I'll glean a whole new nugget from this flow of stolen hours. sometimes gems, sometimes thorns that slice my memory, surgically grafting an experience I did not have into my mind. Trauma roulette, Zen master supercut, sandwich between feast and famine. No borders between my mind and my eyes and this screen. Laminated with forever chemicals and thin price tags. I will get out my razor, scrape the for sale ticket off my consciousness. I will reclaim the natural chaos of this life, unbrick the fireproof cavity of my heart. Let a gentle rain fall from the eave of my skull, down past my sternum, rinse my marrow, down to the arches of my feet, wash away the leeches I've invited in. I'll wander through the wilding without expectation, open to the delight and sorrow of my own life, full of memories that are only mine.
That was Heather Peteroy with On My Relationship with the Internet.
Did you like that?
I really did. I like the kind of panhandling aspect of it, like gold, sifting through, like you're sifting all this dirt to get a few flecks of gold and the wasted hours. I thought that pretty much sums up a lot of social media. Doom scrolling, that's sometimes. Yeah. Although I have to say, sometimes, so obviously if within moderation, like doom scrolling by yourself, but like what me and Leanne do a lot of times at night time, we'll watch reels, like funny reels together. Her algorithm's fucking mental. I don't know what we watched. And the two of us would be crippled laughing. Yeah. All these funny reels, do you know, that come back, or like TikTok, and I'm showing like funny videos. So in that way, if you're watching them together and enjoying them,
laughing is never wasted, man. Like but the problem I think is, I get the bus and the Lewis every day, right? So I'm on public transport, and a lot of the time I'm watching people dead watching their phone.
Yeah.
And like there was a guy next to me the other day, and like he was literally on his phone, and it was constantly moving. The things he was opening up on his phone, like flick through video, close app, open next app, check email, close app, check Instagram feed, scroll, like, and it was for the whole bus journey. It was like this, and his face didn't move 1 inch. There was no emotion, and it's everyone like on this. It's early in the morning, so maybe people don't want to be alive. people want to break.
They're still asleep.
Do you know what I mean? But that's the difference. I think if you I think it's all about conscious choices, isn't it? It's always about conscious choices. As long as you're actively searching for fun and using your phone to do that, I think that's perfect. But the problem is the doom scrolling and not being emotionally available at all to what you're seeing. So it's just a constant. It's just a vacuum of crap.
Yeah. I've noticed that if I'm tired, I'm more susceptible to doing that. On days where I'm like, say if I've done something really, like it was really hectic the day before.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, like go into my room, and like I could be on my phone for an hour and go, fuck, what was I even doing? Because you're tired and you're like, this is really passive, and I wouldn't even know what I'm doing half the time.
Yeah, and the facial expressions you've just pulled there, though, like it's just like dead. It's like,
zombified.
It's and that it's. I think once you see that, and you can kind of, I'm not there, but I'd love to get there to a point where I can see myself doing that and go, fuck, that's not a good look. But it's almost like a deconnection from reality.
Yeah.
Which is not nice. That's not a nice hour.
Like if you're not even conscious of what you're doing, what are you actually doing? Like,
what are you
where's
doing?
your brain? Like,
can you tell me what you did in that? You couldn't probably say.
Powered down for fucking an hour, but you're not even sleeping, so you're not even getting rest. You're just, I don't know, in a stasis, like purgatory of just technological purgatory, we'll call it.
But I don't think your phone is your friend anyway. I think does it want the best for you? I don't know. You know what made me think about that the other day? So we've got we haven't had an agony aunt poem problem for a while, right? So when we do share one, we try to get anonymous problems in, so our agony aunt poet can help us out. And what happens is when you share an NGL link, you get really fast responses, and if you're new to it, you don't know that it's fake. So you'll get these like quite like emotional responses, like "I really miss you," and like, "Oh, you're my favourite person. Let's hang out again." And it's fake. It's not real. It's
the bots.
They're bots. But I got this one NGL the other day, and it was like a long message, but it was fake. It was like a fake long message of like trying to manipulate me to be emotionally lost and confused about the phone. So like, literally, it's like I'll read it out, man.
Your phone's evil. My phone
and then it says like, it says you were one of the few people who actually saw me before I started pretending to be the person everyone expected. That's probably why I'll always care about you a little. And you can tell it's fake because the yous are just yous, and all the messages from NGL are yous. So and the captain,
don't tell the microphone that, then they'll know.
Well, I'm fucking telling NGL now that is not nice, because like you're just forcing people to just be really, I don't know, like at the mercy of what's on their fucking phone. Do you know what I mean?
That's mental.
Mental.
That's manipulation.
I think that's manipulation. It's very, very poor form.
Like, I get sent about 14 dog videos by Leanne. And
that's lovely.
You'll get some weird AI videos that, like, where they go wrong, where you could see like Abraham Lincoln fighting Albert Einstein in like a WWE Hell in a Cell match.
That's great.
Have you seen them?
I've seen those as well. There is some brilliant stuff, mate. Top tier content. But I think you have to be that kind of that face you pulled when you were like,
the deadpan face.
It's not nice.
But one thing, because it's such a broad medium as well. Like, you can find hilarious memes, you can connect with people, and like, I think I look at some people that have that where they're like, "Oh, I've threw my phone in the bin and I haven't looked back since," and I'd love that. But when you create art nowadays, it seems you have to have an online presence to get gigs, to connect with people, to network. Like, I've gotten loads of workshops from just having an Instagram page. People be like, "You do workshops? Yeah. Can you send us on what you've done?" "Yeah, grand. Here's all me. Look at my Instagram for a bit.
Yeah.
I've got my poems."
It's really helpful for that.
If you treat it as a business page, if you use it as a personal page, I think it's different, because with like, say for instance, I always have the argument: if I write a poem or you write a poem, and you put it out there, and people don't like it, you just think, "Oh, that must be a shy poem." Or, people didn't get it, what I was trying to say. But there's a distance. But if you were an influencer and you put your picture of your face out there and nobody liked it, you're the product. So the people not like you. And that's what gets people a bit fucked up. Because they put up a picture of them with their nanny, and then they get some arsehole that's like, "Stay your nan.
State your nan.
And you're as you are.
Embarrassing.
State your nan."
Embarrassing photo.
You know what I mean?
Scarlet fit.
You're fucking fuming.
Yeah.
They've ruined your commute. You probably frown now out of your deadpan face.
Yeah.
But like, it's just...
At least you moved.
At least you moved.
At least you moved in some way.
But I always worry about that. Like, people, like, I use my Instagram as a business account, essentially. Whereas people have personal accounts and they put up their personal things. You're also a
consumer. That's the problem. You've gone from being social media's changed. Everybody was no one was a consumer before, but I think now if you're not creator, you're a consumer on these applications, because if you open up the phone, all you're seeing is brand content, advertisements, joe.e videos. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your mates. Your mates are never on your fucking feed unless you really go and look for them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, if you're so you've gone from consumer to creator with a consumer account, so you still are on it as a receiver of the content, as well as creating. So it's like, it's a weird dichotomy of like balance of like what experience are you having.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Also as well, I turned off all the cookies on my Instagram so that it doesn't follow what I do. Now it will, like, if I watch a lot of reels, it'll kind of go, "Oh, maybe he likes WWE videos of Albert Einstein kicking the shit out of Abraham Lincoln."
Those are great. I don't know how they made those. They are so good.
But I turned off all the cookies of like what I search on, like, say, Google. It doesn't know.
Yeah.
So I just get mad random, and it says to me, it's like, do you not want a personalised experience? No. Because if you sell me everything that I fucking really want, I'll be broke and I'll have spent all my day online. I want you to send me some mad shit and then I go, what the fuck am I even, what? This is shite. And I turn it off.
Yeah, fuck.
Block you, you know. But one of the good things out of social media that has come about,
Yeah.
very long-winded conversation,
It is a bit.
is the connection you have with people and the connections you can make. So
Definitely, that's not nothing.
to circle back on the previous poem I read out. So I mentioned before, I was asked to give added to a conference from after writing the poem. Koshka invited me to a conference they held in Dublin called Generation Change, where they invited a lot of people with lived experiences that have been through the prison services, the probation services, and they brought it was actually a very nice event. They brought loads of employers, and they were basically showing employers that you can get people that have come through the prison services and have actually reformed themselves and are valuable contributing members of the society, and they want to be that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, say some people have come out in their mid-30s and don't have a CV. They have nothing on their CV because they've been in prison for so long. So it's going to show. And then I just say, and this is a shout out to Mr. Price, the shop, was one of the first to actually take in reformed prisoners.
Nice.
They'd hire them and give them a job and be like, we're going to take a chance on these people. Obviously treat them like normal staff. If you start taking the piss like anyone, you'll get sacked or whatever it is, or, different kinds of. But they were one of the first. So I met someone there, Rob Cullen, his name is, and been through the prison system before, and he sent me this poem, and it was like he'd heard me reading out a poem, and he said, "Look, this is brilliant. This takes me back, and it's a very authentic poem. You can tell the lads are kind of played a part in writing, and it wasn't just me pulling out my arse basically." But he sent me a poem in response.
Amazing.
He's been writing poems as well. Unreal.
Amazing.
Sends me this poem, and I'm going to read it for you, right? A simple word, and suddenly overwhelmed by guilt. It comes out of nowhere like a punch in the gut. Just like that. You go from enjoying your day to not giving a fuck. Time slows. Blood pressure grows. Wondering if everyone else knows. Lumps of hair on the floor. Echo of the slamming door. The blood running down the side of his head. Bang, bang, bang. I just wish it was me that was dead. Face turns red. Hiding rusty yolks in the shed. Fuck it. It's what we say, and we just have to suppress it. A way to survive. Sometimes I think those words are the only reason I'm alive. Dishing up lines and throwing out stick. Anxiety fueled knot in me stomach and I'm gonna get sick. Sleepless nights, intense fights, heart pounding, accepting that this is probably the end of my life. A life of fear. Shh. Don't move or he'll hear. Dad, are you okay? Yeah, love. Come on and eat your ice cream.
That was an untitled poem by Rob Cullen.
Rob Cullen, yeah.
That was a really powerful poem.
Yeah, I remember reading it for the first. I'm actually sweating now even reading it, do you know? But he's an author and advocate as well, like an MA criminology student. Like you can tell there's the writing in that is fucking, it brings you somewhere, you know? And
yeah, it does.
And just like the end where all this
comes in,
this violence that's happening in his head, and then it's just, yeah, all right, yeah, just eat your ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, just carry on with your day. Just pulls you back in, and how things can trigger you, because like you can't live a life like that and not have PTSD to some degree. Like the pressure cooker that you live in that environment, you know.
Yeah, man.
But you were saying poetry helps. Writing poetry, getting things out of your head, putting onto the page, you know.
Sounds like it is helping him.
Yes.
And helping others maybe to understand their own stories through.
Because nobody tells you how to express yourself.
No.
And if you don't have, like, some people are lucky that they do have someone to say, look, it's okay to talk about how you feel. A lot of people don't. And, you know, people that are in that environment, A lot of them certainly don't, and you're putting on a front 24
fear
hours a day.
Led, like, yeah, because if you, it's the human experience, experiment of like, if you show weakness, if you show vulnerability, you might end up getting bullied, and you might end up doing some really shit stuff,
or have shit stuff done to
have
you.
Shit just done to you.
Yeah. So like
not good, man.
Not good, but like to know that there is a way to help people in whatever way. Like, you know, it's not going to fix people's lives, but knowing that poetry can be used to help people in that way, which you'd never expect. Like, you know, getting put into that position and then like writing a few poems and make you feel
fucking what?
Like what? Like, you know, but it can help, and clearly it does.
Of
you know,
course, man. Stories save everybody.
Or even like say people that might not be as articulate as that and not be able to write something as powerful as that, but can listen to that. And like, even there was lads in the room when I read the poem out, and they come up to me afterwards and like, that's exactly how it is. I could nearly smell the fucking. It brought me back to the smell of the landings. Basically, they could smell the smoke on the because they can't leave, so they're smoking. So I can smell the smoke from the landings. Listen to that poem, so it can transport people back, and kind of, it could, you know, poems like that can actually. Someone goes, yeah, geez, fucking hell, I feel that way as well, because they can't articulate. You know, it's watching art, reading art. You know, different forms can help you.
Like when you're in a prison as well, maybe you're more likely to see yourself as a story. And see yourself out of prison as the next story. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause that's how we all live and experience the world, is through fucking stories, isn't it? The story of, you know, well, what people think of me now here. What's the story of me? What I can do here to prepare myself out there. What's the story of what happens when I leave? Do you know what I mean? It's all stories. So maybe there's a higher kind of sensitivity to stories when you're in prison. Maybe
it's because there's a lot of boredom in there because you're just locked up for so long.
That as well.
But also as well, like, you know, people always think about what to do when they get out, but they never really think about the prison can still linger in your head, and it can follow you out of it. So you might, you know, be living as a free person, you know, able to go wherever you want, but you don't, you know, that stuff still stays with you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
You know,
I want to read out a poem for you, just talking about like how poetry can like make you feel amazing. I read a poem yesterday, and it was the full version of a poem that I've never read before, but I've heard of the first word, which is I wandered lonely as a cloud. Do you know who wrote that? It's just one of them lines in the ether that we all know.
I know that line.
William Wordsworth wrote this poem, and it is called I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. A gorgeous poem that I want to read the full version of for you now, because I think it just makes you feel, it's just like a hug. It's gorgeous, man. This is William Wordsworth with I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils.
that was I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth.
I mean, what more do you really want?
With a name like
in your
Wordsworth,
life?
you have to be fucking good, wouldn't you? Imagine you were shy at writing words and you have word in your fucking second.
Wordsworth.
Yeah, like your words are worth something. Do you reckon that's a stage now?
Oh, it could be.
It's really
Wordsworth.
Imagine being like a Wordsworth. Like, that's a bit of a coincidence, him being Wordsworth and having a fucking being a successful politician.
I'm with you, it could be.
Wonder what his real name is.
We should do we should do a poetry podcast. That's 2 years
That'd be
ago.
good, yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Do a podcast
Don't
of
have
like all of the poems that have like a line that we've heard of that we haven't really read. Because we're woofing on every week about poetry, but like we don't
know what we're doing.
We should have read that one.
I've read Wordsworth before. I really like a lot of his stuff. Would have done it in college, and like I find a lot of his, like, he writes a lot about nature, and they're just lovely poems. A lot of them where you're like, oh yeah, like when you're on the bus and people are all zombified, read a bit of Wordsworth.
Read a fucking bit of Wordsworth.
Read a bit of Wordsworth, and let the words will be worthy from William Wordsworth. Jeez, my brain went a bit funny there. I said word too many times, I think.
We're going to keep you company with not just the podcast but also the read along that we're going to run. We've selected the next book for the read along for our Patreon subscribers. The book is called Light Beneath the Lids by the poet Jane Lightbourne. So if you'd like to join us with a bit of a read along as it gets a bit cold, it's nice to have something to do sign up to the Patreon. It's €3 a month. You get that back with a 20% discount from the Winding Stair bookshop anyway, and I think the book this month is like a tenner.
Yeah.
So love to join you. I mean, there's a whole group of people that are on that now that we're reading together, and it's lovely because you message each other and like we're going to do a podcast about it. So it's gorgeous. Like,
Our poemies.
And I've just asked Jane here to send me a poem from the book, and she sent me this one, and it's called The Bridge. And I've never read it before, but I'm going to read it out to you. And this is just a taster of this month's Patreon read along. The Bridge. I stand at the bridge, half finished, hanging in the air, while beyond the sea beckons, waves laced with foam, and I would walk to what end? The question hangs over me, the not knowing. There are stones in my pockets, while my mind flies evergreen. I think, I am, half slept, half loved, half empty. I step. Isn't that lovely?
Lovely.
Fucking hell.
Plain lovely.
Perfect, isn't it, as well? Like, about that, you know, the raw dogging thing that you talk about, like, just like go. Just see
Go
where
for
your
the walk.
mind goes. Like,
Yeah, be bored. Be brave and be bored.
be brave out there.
Be bravely bored.
Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt. We'll make millions. Be bravely
You're
bored.
trying to make millions.
Relation.
We'll leave you with this track. This is a song by the band Left Iris, and the track is called
Escitaloprum.
Escitaloprum. So this is Left Iris with Escitaloprum. Leon, great to see you again. Thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure. Never to char Ryan. Bye.
We're back next week. See you later on.
You're there.
Don't be a fool. Just one is cool if you need it. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool. Sing a song and drown out the neighbor's fights. Shouldn't worry, I'm sure that's fine. Take a day off, get yourself some new friends. Ask a Tyler, grab it's your friend. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool if you need it. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool if you need it. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool. Turn the lights off, come back to bed with me. Should we worry? I'm sure that it's fine. Take a day off, get yourself some new friends. Escatado, play with your friend. Don't be a fool. Just one is cool if you need it. Don't be a fool. Just one is